Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live holiday edition of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. As always, I'm Kobe. We got Mike with me, and we're in the holiday spirit, man.
Hey man, holiday spirit, Merry Christmas to all. And yeah, man, definitely good to come on here for a nice holiday special to get everybody right for these games that's going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, NFL on Christmas Day. NBA, you can just take the day off.
Right.
We're locking in on the football this season.
hmm
These playoff picture is still tight. Like, these last couple of weeks are so crucial for some of these teams.
Yeah, teams fighting for positioning. Still a couple playoff spots still open. So yeah, a lot of these games are going to definitely come down to who wants it more. Um, And starting off with who wants it more, we could get into the top 5 and 5. A few topics going around in the league right now. And DK Metcalf,
Hmm.
he definitely wanted, I don't know, he wanted smoke or something with this fan. So DK Metcalf, he was suspended for the final 2 games of the season for his roughing up of a fan. Definitely grabbed the fan up, kind of smushed him a little bit. Um, Definitely a bad decision on his part. Um, Due to the way his contract is set up, he's gonna probably forego that guaranteed money on his
Mhm.
contract. That $45 million is no longer guaranteed. He'll probably still get it, but now the team has an out. Just in case he gets injured or something like that, they could get out of
Yeah.
that contract. So definitely not good for DK Metcalf.
And man, I don't know if this fan is blind or something. You look at all the players in the NFL. DK Metcalf is probably the last guy I'm getting in the face
Right.
of. But um,
Yeah.
it, there's always like people say like internet trolls like, oh, you wouldn't say that to my face. This fan's like, yes, I will. I mean, I'm gonna be
hmm
up in the stands, but I'm gonna say it. um I don't know. There's been a like conflicting stories of like what actually happened. The fan said he called him by his full name. DK
He
said he
must hate
was
his name.
like using slurs, talking about his mom. So I don't know. Either way, you can't. I mean, if you're just joking about a dude's full name, or maybe DK is a little soft, but if it's more than that, you can't be doing that.
Right. I think the most that the fan might get in trouble for, I think he did move from his seat and went down to that area and where it's kind of like a standing area. So that wasn't where his seat was located, but he didn't come onto the field. He didn't grab the player. I think that if people come to games, they should be able to say almost whatever they want. I know I went to some games and I said some reckless stuff to some player. So you know, as long as the fans don't come onto the field or throw anything and stuff like that, I think it should be fine.
Sure.
So we'll see where this goes for sure. I know the fan said he has a press conference coming out Friday with his lawyer, so we'll see what happens with that. Next, 2 teams that we did not expect to be good right now: the New England Patriots and Chicago Bears. Could we see a matchup between these 2 teams in the Super Bowl?
Ooh, boy, we could. Are we
hmm
going to? No, I don't. I don't think we are. I'd say the Patriots have an easier path than the Bears. Right now it's pretty much Denver, New England. The
hmm
Bears, they're up there with the Rams, the Seahawks. I'm sure I'm missing a couple. The Eagles, and I guess the Bills are right up there in the AFC as well. But I do think New England is just a better team than Chicago, so I think they can make it deeper into the playoffs. But seeing Chicago in the Super Bowl, especially after the last couple of years they've had, would be crazy.
Yeah, 2 teams that were picking 1 and 3 in the draft just a year ago now could be possibly in a Super Bowl is kind of crazy. So, but they both kind of took similar paths to get here.
Hmm.
Both drafted rookie QBs. Both changed their coaching staff. So, yeah, again, that might be the formula to changing over a team and a roster is kind of their recipe. Next, Denzel Perryman took a wild hit on Flournoy in that game this past weekend. Had a helmet-to-helmet hit against him, and he is suspended for the last 2 games of the season, which was upheld. Do you think that I know it's kind of difficult for these players to not
Hmm.
commit helmet-to-helmet penalties, but how do you feel about, the players getting suspended for 2 games? I think they said that he's a frequent, you know, player that
Yeah,
kinda does these type of hits, but, what do you feel about this,
and that
situation?
was the first thing that came to mind. Like, if you have like a player, he's been playing for whatever 8, 9, 10 years, he has a clean rep, and and you can tell like he didn't mean to do it. Some of these guys do it, and they're like, oh, like they feel. But I didn't see this happen in real time. But it looks like that play was pretty much over, like in this picture right here.
Mhm.
Especially if he's like, kind of has a history of this, kind of like Vontez Burfict or James Harrison or these dudes. Yeah, then you can start cracking down. And I know, like, it's a player's health and safety is involved, but I don't. Like, can you give a warning like, hey, you're normally pretty good. I can tell you didn't mean to do that. Like, this is just a
Mhm.
warning. I mean, it's still whatever 15-yard penalty, still a flag. But yeah, I don't know, because the NFL, these dudes are so big and strong, and the game moves so fast. Like, it's gonna happen. But
Right. I'm
as
thinking
long
he
as there's
must have been
no
cited
intent,
a
I,
Right, right, right. He must have been cited a lot before, because I know they normally just give out a fine here and there, or they just skip the 1 game suspension, go straight to 2 games. So,
yeah,
I'm sure he's a repeated offender with that. Next, that Lions and Steelers game ended in a controversial call. There was an offensive pass interference on the Lions that probably cost them the game. They did score that touchdown, but it got called back due to penalty. Do you think that the refs were wrong in this? And how do you feel about the games kind of coming down to a ref's decision?
uh, so games that come down to the ref's decision, like, just as a fan of sport, I hate when fans say that, like, oh, the refs cost us that game. Like, yeah, there was a controversial play, but if your team just played better before and or after that, then that
Hmm.
play doesn't matter. As far as the penalty, I mean, I didn't see this. We talked about it a little bit before. In like late game like this, like a lot on the line for both of those teams. I don't know. I feel like you could probably let it go.
Hmm.
Kind of how like NBA, like playoffs, they're kind of more like lenient on stuff. But I,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, you can't just say it came down to one ref's call. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a big call, sure,
Hmm.
but if they would have scored 7 points in the like second quarter, or like 7 more points, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I agree, and I know the coach came out and said something similar to that. That the game doesn't come down to one play. I know it hits different
Hmm.
when it is like the crucial play, and it's could be taken back a touchdown or something like that. But again, you got to look to how did you get here? Did why did you commit that turnover in the first quarter or this and that? So I do hate it that a lot of the games come down to refs call, but um I'm not gonna it happens,
Hmm.
so also something that is happening is the Chiefs are getting a new stadium. They're set to move out of Arrowhead and into a new stadium in Kansas, I believe in 2031, and it looks like they're going to get a lot of money from the city as well, about 1.8 billion, I think, like that is coming from the city. So it's going to be weird, Chiefs moving out of Arrowhead.
Yeah, and they must have something monstrous planned, because like you think of like playing on the road, you always think of like playing in Seattle with like the 12th man, and then you
Hmm.
normally hear Arrowhead right behind there. You know,
Hmm.
tough place to play. It gets cold, rowdy. So they must, you know, and I know like a lot of it's money. Maybe moving the stadium, they bring in more money, but and I thought maybe the fans would be against it. But if they're getting all this like outside funding, somebody's like all in on it. So hey, good for them.
Yeah, another team to be on the lookout for, Chicago, potentially moving from Chicago and some to maybe Indiana's something crazy. So yeah, so definitely another situation to look out for as well. Next, we can get into some game recaps from this past weekend. First, let's get into your Browns, man. They actually made this a game. I was actually surprised that this game ended up being so close. But yeah, how did you see this game? I know this one is close to you.
I like the final score. You see it there, 23-20. It looks close, but actually watching the game, it wasn't that close. Pretty much our whole offensive line is out, and it showed. Like just penalty, no discipline, not knowing blocking assignments, and like I'll give Shador some credit. I mean, he made some bad throws, but dude is just fighting for his life back there. like every single play. I will say though, holding the Bills to 23 points, and honestly, you take away, I think James Cook had like a 45 or close to a 50-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. So you take that away, and yeah, we actually didn't look too bad. I think Shador is pretty much guaranteed his spot moving forward, and hopefully enough that we can look elsewhere in the first round next year. And I think the league gave Myles Garrett a pity half a sack. I don't know if you saw the play or not. I think it's actually this one in the picture here. Josh Allen zigging and zagging, running back like 15 yards, which is very uncharacteristic of him. Kind of tripped up at the one, and Myles was like the second guy to get a hand on him, so they just
put a hand on him.
They gave him a half, but half a sack away from tying, one full sack away from being the new sack leader. So that's why I'm tuning in every week right now.
Do you think he'll get the record?
I think I mentioned the last episode. Pittsburgh says take the penalty, hold him, grab him by the face mask, double team, triple team. Do not let him get it. That being said, he's gonna get it.
I think so too. I hope he gets it against the Steelers too.
I do too. Like if we're hearing these reports, he's hearing these reports, and I can, like when he's dominating a game, he's just all smiles, and I'm sure he heard that and was just like, all right, nope, I'm just gonna get two now, so it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, Quinshon Judkins, he took a nasty. Got a nasty injury out of this game. I believe he fractured his ankle in this game.
Yeah, they said broken leg. They were going to see if there was like any ligament damage. I didn't hear anything after that. I mean, honestly, if you're just rooting for a broken leg and not an ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, tough to see because I think he has a promising future on this team as well once we get some other pieces.
Yeah, I agree. And next, a game that you were all over. You said that the Jaguars were going to win this game, and I didn't believe you. But
roll the clip.
Jaguars won this game 34-20. Trevor Lawrence has been on another level the past few weeks. Three touchdowns in this game, 4 total with that Russian TD, and they just couldn't. Bo Nix and that Broncos defense just couldn't stop the Jaguars. So definitely a big win for them, especially late in the season. I think Jaguars are now third in the AFC right now, but they're stepping up. Yeah,
earlier when we were talking about season awards, I picked Ben Johnson for Coach of the Year. Just for like what he's done in Chicago, and I still think he's deserving. But what Liam Cohen is doing down here in Jacksonville right now, bringing in
Mhm.
Jacoby Myers, and they extended him right away. I think they are, obviously they made the trade to get Travis Hunter, giving up their first round pick to us next year.
Mhm.
But I think they just have a sense of direction right now, and yeah, the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks, Jacksonville could be sneaky in these playoffs. But it really wasn't a terrible game from Denver here either. They just got outplayed. I mean, I think Denver's still like the clear cut number one seed in the AFC, but kudos to Jacksonville right now.
Yep. And next we had my pick. The Carolina Panthers got a win at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 23-20. And another QB that we have not spoken about a lot this season is Bryce Young. I know early on in his career, he looked pretty bad at a lot of times. They took him out at one point, then decided to go back to him. And the later part of this season, he's really helped this team take the lead in that division. No turnovers again in this game. 2 touchdowns was pretty efficient. And without a running game in this game, with Dowdle being stopped, it really came down to him and not making any mistakes, and he was able to do that. So, and yeah, we don't really know what Buccaneers team we're going to get. Sometimes they're pretty good, but lately they've been losing to some teams they probably should have won. So so man, tough division, but also these two teams are going to face each other again in Week 18.
Yeah, that's just a nice quality win for your Carolina Panthers. I am a fan of what they're doing here in Carolina. Bryce Young struggled his first 2 years, but now he's looking like the franchise guy they want, and them bringing in a T-Mac, McMillan there. This is a pretty good young team, and if they hit on like another draft or two, with that division kind of being open for anybody, they could have like a nice little run of dominance there.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think they're going to be a problem for any of the better NFC teams like in a playoff game.
Not yet.
But yeah, that's just a good quality win and a statement win in the division.
Yep. And next game that we spoke on earlier, Lions took a L in this game, 29-24 against the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, another pretty good game from him, over 250 yards. Jared Goff put up some golly type numbers that he's accustomed to putting up, over 350 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. But came down to the end, and they could not pull this game out at home.
No, and like looking at the stats you have posted here, no mention of Gibbs. Montgomery was a non-factor, and I think especially Gibbs, but Montgomery too. Like they're a pretty good running back duo. Goff had a great game, but if they're not able to kind of control the game with the run, they're just not winning football games. So I do think that's priority number one for them. But it seems like Pittsburgh's defense took it away. But yeah, it sounds like Pittsburgh's probably going to win that division. Detroit, I imagine they're out now.
Yeah, they says they're still in the hunt, but they need a lot of things to go their way.
Yeah, because they're definitely obviously the Bears and the Packers are ahead of them in the division, but yeah, man, Detroit looked promising earlier this year too. We were talking about them with the Buccaneers, like the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, but really fell off there.
Yeah. And definitely in a big game for Warren as well. 143 yards rushing, 2 TDs. Next, the LA Chargers getting a big win against the Cowboys in this one. Cowboys were eliminated from the playoffs this past weekend with the Eagles win. So they had nothing to play for when this game kicked off. But still, Dak Prescott put up some good numbers with the 2 touchdowns. But again, that running game, they couldn't get going. Pickens had a great game, but Chargers is playing well. They have something to play for, and they was clicking on all cylinders. So definitely a big win for the Chargers heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, we talk about the Chargers running game at the beginning of the season with Hampton and then Najee Harris. Obviously, Harris is out for the year. Hampton has missed significant time, but they had a little hope there with Vidal when he was playing. But yeah, getting they got Hampton back at the right time. I mean, as long as he was 100% to come back, being well rested, not a lot of wear and tear on him, and the Chargers sitting at 11-4. Like we've talked about them. Like we don't know what Chargers teams you're gonna get, but I mean more times than not, this is what you're gonna be getting from them, and I don't know, they can maybe pose some trouble to somebody in the playoffs.
Yeah, I totally agree. They're going to be probably a tough out. They usually were first round outs whenever they got into the playoffs, and usually it was to the Texans. But we'll see. They definitely have a good chance to go as far as they want to go in the playoffs. This game, man. This game pissed me off, man, because I definitely picked the Ravens to get a win, an upset win against the Patriots, and they were up by 10 or 11 late in the fourth quarter. And it seems like as soon as I sent you that text, like with the eyes like, yeah, I got you on this one, all hell broke loose, started to turn the ball over, and Patriots came back to win this game 28-24. Drake made another great game from him, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, did throw that 1 pick. I think that what I did notice in this game and I didn't like was that with the Patriots being up by over 10 points in the fourth quarter, I don't think Derrick Henry touched the ball at all in that fourth quarter. And it's like, if you would have just handed him the ball a few times and waste some of that clock, and not give it to your backup quarterback in Huntley for him to try to convert on a lot of those plays, they probably would have won the game. But, instead they gave the ball to Huntley and the result was the result. But definitely should have ran the ball more in this game. But I was pissed at this one because I definitely picked the Ravens for an upset.
Yeah, and we talked about it, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe if Harbaugh's job was in jeopardy, But then, that game definitely seemed mismanaged. I mean, because Henry was running the ball fine. You see him there, 18 carries, 128, and he scored twice. So you're putting the ball in a Huntley's hands, which is putting the ball right back in Drake May's hands. And
correct.
And that's not like, you don't want a Huntley versus May showdown. But hey, New England came out, got the dub for me.
They got you one.
But hey, I mean, that's crazy because Vegas had the Ravens favored by 3. Separately, I put some money down on the plus money for Patriots, so that was a decent little payday. But yeah,
pissed me off, man.
Maybe you'll bounce back this week.
I have to. Hey, there's only 2 weeks left. And then to wrap up this past week 16 games, we had the 49ers facing the Colts on Monday Night Football. San Fran ended up running away with this one 48-27, all behind the arm of Brock Purdy, who had 5 touchdowns and 1 interception, almost 300 yards through the air. And of course, McCaffrey did his thing with 117 yards on the ground and a couple receiving TDs as well. But I think another highlight in this game was Phillip Rivers. Even though they got the loss, he looked like he knew exactly what the 49ers wanted to do on defense. He was, even though that ball looked ugly coming out of his hand, it looked a little slow, like he didn't have any oomph on it. It was still right on the money because he was, kind of dialed in and kind of knew what the defense was doing. So good game by Rivers. But in the end, it was a loss by them. And 49ers, with all the injuries and issues that they had throughout the season, they still find themselves at 11-4.
Yeah, we talked about how the Jaguars are kind of getting hot at the right time. But yeah, 49ers, I don't picture them at like 11-4. Like I think they're probably like an 8 or 9 win team, just going back and looking at all the injuries you talked about. But man, they are finding ways to win, and that's just a great game by Purdy. I know a couple of them are little dump offs to McCaffrey, but if that's what you're good at, you're going to do it. Well, I mean, I love Phillip Rivers just needs to be mic'd up every game. Oh gosh, dang it, golly gee, like I don't know. I just love just an out there, just humble, wholesome dude. I mean, he's not going to win you any football games, but if you can get him mic'd up, you can get some content out of it.
And speaking of not winning football games, I did not win many football games this past week with our picks. But you had a great week, man. Probably one of the best weeks that either one of us had in this entire season. But again, to see our records of what they are right now, 138-84, 136-86, we've been putting in work this season with our game picks. We know a little something.
Yeah, not bad. I said I placed a little bit of money on the Patriots last week, and honestly, if we would put like $1 just straight, like $1 or two straight bets every single week, I mean, we'd be up some money. We know what we're doing a little bit. Like I mentioned, like we're not deep diving. We're not going like we watch the games, we talk about the games, and we make the picks. Is it the most professional way to do it? No, but this is the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show, and that's how we do it here. So
yeah, and going by these records, I mean, it's a good formula to have. But I definitely have some work to do being down 2 games with 2 weeks left. So let's get into this Week 17 slate. 3 Christmas games starting tomorrow. First game we have on the slate is my Commanders.
Oh, please do it.
My hopeless, injured, riddled QB number 3 using Commanders. So this week we'll be going up against the Cowboys at home at 1:00, and our starting QB is Josh Johnson. And even though Sam Hartman is our 4th QB, he is now our 5th QB because we just got Driscoll off of the Arizona Cardinals practice squad to be our backup for this game because he was on our team a little bit last season. So says a lot about Hartman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not expecting much from this game. 2 teams that have nothing to play for. Am I going to pick my Commanders? Of course I'm not, because it's still going to come down to skill players, which we don't have a lot of. And with a quarterback by the name of Josh Johnson leading the way, I'm sure he's going to put the ball into harm's way a lot of times than what I will want. And then we may have to turn to Driscoll, and it's not going to get any better from there. So I'm definitely going to pick the Cowboys to come into Northwest Stadium and get a win against us.
Yeah, this is an easy pick for me. I've said it the last 5 weeks. I'm going to say it this week. The Redskins defense Commanders.
No. Hey, wait. You can say it. You can say it now.
The Washington football team's defense is Swiss cheese. Dak's been playing great. Pickens has been playing great. CD and those boys. So yeah, this is just an easy pick for me, Dallas.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough 1:00 game for me.
At least next you get it over with early.
Exactly. We don't have to wait around for this beating. Next, we'll get into the Detroit Lions facing the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions being favored by 7.5 on the road. And I think that this is a good spread for them. But how do you feel about this matchup?
I think JJ McCarthy's out again, so I think the Vikings are rolling out a Max Brosmer again. And I do believe his last start for McCarthy was one of the most hilarious starts any quarterback has ever had. He just looked completely clueless back there.
Mhm.
I will say this, Detroit secondary, I love bringing this up. They got cooked by Jameis Winston on the outside, but this was another easy pick for me. Detroit, who you mentioned are still possibly in the hunt. They just they just have to win out, and other things need to happen. But this is actually a good bounce back spot for them after last week's game against Pittsburgh. So I like Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit has still has something to play for with them trying to find a way to sneak into the playoffs. And like you said, this is definitely going to be a bounce back, get back type game for them since they feel wrong from that loss that they took against the Steelers. So I am with you. I'm going with Detroit this week on the road. And next, possibly another easy one. We have the Denver Broncos facing the Chiefs. Broncos being favored by 13.5, and a similar get back type of game for them. And I see them doing just that. Denver took an ugly loss against the Jags last week. Now they're playing an injured Chiefs team. They're going to be sitting a lot of players, I'm sure, as a lot of teams are moving a lot of players to IR and things like that. So give me the Broncos to get a win on the road this week.
Yeah, I think even if you had a healthy Mahomes out there, that the Broncos were probably still going to win this game. And then last week, Minshew tore his ACL, and no disrespect to whoever this guy is, I don't know who he is. Just good luck, I guess, because the Broncos defense is still good. So Denver Broncos. And that's no disrespect. I just don't know who he is.
It's a lot
He's
of
not going to
disrespect
watch
in
this
there.
anyway.
I'm gonna send it to
him.
Next, we have the Houston Texans facing the LA Chargers. Two teams with a lot of history. I know dating back last year, Texans outed them in the playoffs. But yeah, two very good teams. Chargers playing well, Texans playing well. How do you see this game?
I don't know the exact stats, but the Texans defense made Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes look like rookie quarterbacks. That defense is absolutely elite. And Justin Herbert, he seems to disappear in these tough games. A rematch of the playoffs last year, Texans sent him home. And the Texans are going to win this game as well. I think the offense has gotten better. I do believe Nico Collins is a Pro Bowler. CJ Stroud's been pretty good since he came back from injury. But yeah, that defense, I think it's going to be too much for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, the Texans still have that number one defense. Those two edge rushers are elite, like you said. But I have to make up some ground.
You do.
I do have to make up two games, and this is one game that I am going to make up my deficit with, because it's something about this Chargers team. I feel like Harbaugh has them playing really well right now, feeling really confident. And going into the playoffs, I know they're going to feel some type of way with the Texans kind of getting them out of the playoffs last year. Maybe they can use that as some motivation, and also being at home. Hopefully they can get that home crowd in there. But lately the Chargers have been playing well, and I'm going to need them to come through this week. I'm riding with the LA Chargers to get a win at home this week.
Fair.
Next we have the Ravens, who I'm still pissed off about, going into Green Bay playing the Packers. Packers being favored by only 3. I know they're this game is going to be the Huntley and Malik Willis show, and this is tough. All right, Green Bay. Green Bay still has a great defense. And Malik Willis did show a lot in that game.
Mhm.
Threw a nice 30-yard touchdown to Dubs in that game. Did show a lot of improvement from what we're used to seeing from him. But on the other hand, Ravens did play well against the Patriots. However, they did find a way to lose that game. I'm going to ride with the Packers to get a win at home. Malik did play well. That defense is really good. And I feel like the Ravens, if it's going to come down to a close game, I just don't trust their decision making late in games. They might go away from Henry again. Who knows? But give me the Packers to find a way to squeak out a win this week.
Yeah, I actually forgot Jordan Love was out again. But watching Malik Willis fill in, he really didn't look that bad. I know a lot of teams were high on him coming out of college, and he's just kind of tried to get things going there in Tennessee. It didn't really work out. It's kind of bounced around a little bit now, but I think he looks solid enough that he can help Green Bay win this game. Because, like you said, it's gonna Willis versus Huntley. The Ravens defense isn't as strong as it used to be. I will say if they can find a way to get Derrick Henry going early, I think they have a chance, and keep it in his hands. But I too like Green Bay this week.
All righty. Next we have the Pittsburgh Steelers facing your Cleveland Browns. Steelers being favored on the road by 3. What are your thoughts in this game?
I mean, this is my first time seeing the spread for this game, so that -3 is a little shocking to me. I think this, could have easily been like a 6.5. But yeah, we're just not going to win any more games this year, and I accepted that a couple weeks ago. Pittsburgh's playing good. Aaron Rodgers is playing close to vintage Rodgers as he has in a long time. Like I said, I'm tuning in to watch the sack king Myles Garrett get at least one more. But as far as the win, no, it's not gonna happen. I mean, hey, I'm always up for an upset, but I'm not picking one, so I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think if I was down more games, I probably would have took a chance in this one and picked your Browns. Only because I know this is going to be a close game. It seems like the AFC North always comes down to the fourth quarter. I think that the Browns defense is going to play well. But like you said, the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing well. Aaron Rodgers has been efficient as of late, but they will be without their main target, DK, in this game. So maybe the Browns could slow up that offense just a tad bit more. And they're probably going to be motivated, the Browns, for Myles Garrett getting that record against the Steelers. So I think this game is going to be close. I could see the Browns pulling up an upset, but I'm also going to go with the Steelers to get a win. But I could see this one also going either way. These AFC North games always kind of ends kind of weird. So, but yeah, going with the Steelers. Another game that should be quick for us to discuss is the New England Patriots facing the New York Jets. Patriots are on the road and favored by 13.5. Just going with the Patriots in this one. I don't need to say anything more about it. Patriots will dominate the Jets in this game.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Patriots.
Yep. Now we have the New Orleans Saints facing the Tennessee Titans. Saints are being favored by 2.5. Hey, man, I'm going to just say your Saints because I don't know. You kind of been on them.
They've been winning games.
And they've been winning. I'm going to just say Tyler because that last name is kind of, Tyler.
It's actually Shook.
Shook?
Yeah.
All right. Tyler Shook.
I'm a fan now. I know these things.
Yeah, he's playing really good. Not turning the ball over, playing pretty efficient. And he is leading them to a lot of victories and against teams that we did not see coming for them. So how do you see the Saints and Titans game?
Uh, yeah, the Saints have been playing, you know, I'm not going to say great football, but they've been playing better football. And yeah, they have won a couple games that we didn't think they would win. But I do think they're going to win this game. Uh, the Titans, the Titans are going to. The only thing they're really battling right now is like us, the Giants, and the Raiders for like the number one pick. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
the Jets in there too. So I don't know if Tennessee even really wants to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't think they're going to. I like the Saints here.
I thought you were going to pick the Titans like you did last week against the Chiefs.
Well,
Thought
no,
you were
that
going to
was
run.
no,
Thought
no,
you were going to
no.
run it back, man.
The Saints could beat the Chiefs right now too.
Yeah, I agree with him going with the Saints in this game. Yes, Titans got a win last week against the Chiefs, but Saints are playing really well right now. Give me the Saints. Next, AFC South, two teams coming up. Jaguars facing the Colts. Jaguars being favored by 6.5 in this game. I was late to the Jacksonville party. I wish I would have kind of been with them at least a week earlier, like you were. But Colts are playing well, but again, Philip Rivers, he's doing the best he can at this point, trying to will them into the playoffs. But in this game, facing the Jacksonville team that is playing like how they're playing right now, they just beat probably the number one AFC team last week in Denver. This shouldn't be any more difficult than what they faced last week. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville to get a win on the road this week against the Colts.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville this week as well. I also like Trevor Lawrence, like 3 total touchdowns. But it seems like, and I know that they went through quarterback changes, but when Jonathan Taylor was having like 200, total yards a game, like 2-3 touchdowns a game, that this team was really tough to beat. But game script is just not allowing that to happen. The Colts, I think, are falling behind early, which means I think didn't Rivers throw the ball like 52 times or something last
Mhm.
week, and
Mhm.
that's just
That
not a
are
good.
about to fall off the bone.
Yeah, that's not a good way to go into those games. So yeah, pretty easy pick here as well. I like Jacksonville.
Yep. Next, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers facing the Miami Dolphins. Bucks being favored on the road by 5.5. This is a game that the Bucks have to have, in my opinion. They do not want to go into that Week 18 game against the Panthers not tied, I think, because yes, whoever kind of wins that Week 18 matchup between them probably is going to win that division, but this is a game they have to have. They can't lose against Miami. So, in Miami again, this season they've just been all over the place.
Yeah.
And they already moved away from Tua. I'm sure the coach is going to be out of there in the offseason. They already got rid of their GM. Tampa, they have to win this game. So I'm going with Tampa to get a win on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. And I wanted to say, anybody that's watching this live, either on YouTube or Twitch, go ahead and drop your picks in here too. You know, always curious what you guys have to say. But yeah, this is a must-win game for Tampa. I didn't do my homework. I don't know how Quinn Ewers did last week in his start, but I imagine it wasn't great. But yeah, Baker and those guys should be able to go into Miami and get a win.
Yep. And next, let's get into my other team this season. Seattle Seahawks are facing my Carolina Panthers in Carolina, the number one team right now in the NFC, the Seahawks. Again, we've been talking about them all season. Great on offense, great on defense. And my Carolina Panthers, I think that there's that surprise team. It's just something about them. I think they're going to sneak their way to a division win, something that we did not expect this season, and then I think they're going to be out in the first round. But in this game against the Seahawks, I don't think that they'll have enough firepower on offense, but also that defense won't be able to stop the Seahawks for 4 quarters. So yes, even though they're playing well, I do think they're going to take a L this week against the Seahawks. Unfortunately, give me the Seahawks to get a
Man, I was really hoping, like,
win. I'm not crazy now. Like that's my team, but I'm not.
yeah,
Crazy.
but I don't know. I thought maybe with your back against the wall, you kind of feel the pressure. You might slip up. But I will say I know Carolina's home, but being favored by 7 there is a little shocking too. I thought maybe that could be a little bit higher. But yeah, the Seahawks are just doing everything right now. With the Rams loss, and Seahawks are great, and they're gonna win this week as well in Carolina.
Yeah, I do hope that they pull off this upset. Oh God, if they do, we might have to put them in the top 5, man. If they can pull this off, I can't do it. I'm down. I can't do it. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals facing the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals being favored by 7.5 at home. It seems like I don't remember the last time I picked the Cardinals to win, and I am not going to this week. One of the worst teams in the NFL right now. Bengals are too. Bengals are not playing well, but at the same time, they're not the Cardinals, and they're at home this week. So give me the Bengals to get a win against the hopeless Cardinals.
Man, I thought about this game a little bit longer than you did. Jacoby Brissett has been like a top 10 QB in the league since he's took over. The Bengals defense is terrible. Their offensive line is terrible, but they still have Joe Burrow, Chase. Well, both Jamar Chase and Chase Brown, who had 3 touchdowns last week. Higgins, Fant. It's still too much firepower for the Cardinals, but I did think about it a little bit, thinking maybe Jacoby Brissett could piece up that defense a little bit, but I like the Bengals as well.
All righty, getting near the end, we have the New York Giants facing the Las Vegas Raiders. Giants being favored on the road by 1.5. I saw this line kind of going back and forth. I think even as of yesterday, it was like 1.5 for the Raiders, and then I saw a change today. So, what are your thoughts on this game?
Just what a complete shit show of a game, honestly. Is Kenny Pickett starting again for the Raiders? Is Geno just done now?
Good question.
He benched?
I'm not sure. It's probably going to be him again.
And I don't know. I don't know if it'll matter.
I know they sat their tight end, put him on IR.
Okay, yeah, I did see that. But I do think the Giants are a slightly better team, just with their the 4 they have up front being able to get in the backfield and cause havoc. Jackson Dart went. He's exciting to watch. He can scramble, and I don't know. The Raiders pretty much just have Ashton Genty now, and if you're relying on a rookie running back to keep you in games or win you games, that's just not going to happen. I like the Giants this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the Giants will pull off the win this week on the road. Once I heard that the Raiders set their tight end, I was like, well, that's basically their offense not being out there. So give me the Giants to get a win on the road this week. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles facing the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and Buffalo's being favored by 1.5 in this game. What are your thoughts against this? This is 2 heavyweight teams right here.
So earlier in the year, Buffalo lost to Miami. We kept the game close against them. It seems like Buffalo has a problem with playing to their competition. You know, they beat New England the week before. It seems like when they have these tough matchups, they play better football. And I do think that they will get it done this week against the Eagles. The Eagles have been surprising me. We're starting to see Saquon starting to run the ball. AJ Brown's been playing well, but it's so hard to bet against Josh Allen. If we're just going QB for QB, I'm taking Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts every single time. So I like Buffalo this week.
It's so hard to bet against them, but I am going with the Eagles this week. It's just if we're going just QB against QB, I'm taking Josh Allen every day, but I'm going to take the entire Philadelphia Eagles team right now to finally put it all together to get a win. And I think that the Eagles is going to play up as well. They did play my Commanders last week, and they kind of played down a little bit to us. But I do think that they're going to come out this week. They did get Saquon. Look like they're getting him together. He had, I think, 130 yards last week. They could have fed him more in that game, but you still have AJ to worry about, still have Smith to worry about. That team is healthy. They're motivated as well. I'm sure they hear the doubters. And yes, it's going to be a tough game in Buffalo, but I think that we have not seen the Eagles put together a full, great performance against any team this season.
Yeah.
And I think that the closer we get to the playoffs, this is the matchup right here that we can kind of, see the Eagles kind of put it all together. So give me the Eagles to get a win on the road this week against Buffalo.
I don't hate that pick. This, I was going to say maybe the game of the week, but this next game we have coming up to talk about might have something to say about that. So
yeah, this next one is going to be crazy. So next we have the Sunday night matchup: Chicago Bears facing the San Francisco 49ers in San Fran. San Fran being favored by 3 in this game. This is two teams that one team we did not expect to be as good this year, and one team we did. And yeah, this is two great coaches going against each other. Defenses are both playing well. Brock Purdy just put up a 5-touchdown performance this past week. Caleb has definitely shown some improvement as well. For me, this game is going to come down to experience. And the 49ers have a lot of experience in these big games. It's tough to bet against Shanahan. Brock Purdy is playing well. McCaffrey is putting up touchdowns and yardage. And the defense is playing well also. So I'm going to go with the 49ers to get a win at home. I know Chicago is playing well, but I don't think that they'll be able to cover McCaffrey. I think that he'll be the difference maker in this game. So give me the 49ers to get a win at home.
All right. Yeah. I like the 49ers as well. Chicago got very lucky to win that game last week against the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is, credit to them. They did what they needed to do to win the game. Getting that onside kick back was wild. But yeah, Purdy coming off that great game. Kyle Shanahan has been one of the top coaches in the league for a while, and McCaffrey just week in and week out just does his thing. Kittle's been huge in this offense.
Oh, yeah.
These last couple of weeks too. So yeah, I just think the 49ers offense is going to be too much for the Bears, and that's kind of hard to say because it seems like every week they're getting takeaways. But yeah, 49ers at home. I like the Niners.
Yep. Another team I like is the Rams. Rams being favored by 7.5 on the road against the Falcons. Give me the Rams. Make this one quick.
Yeah, I got nothing. Rams.
And
Matthew Stafford. Well, Devontae Adams is out for the rest of the regular season, but Puka, even with all the stuff he had going on, he had like 15 catches for 1,000,000 yards last week. Or was that 2 weeks ago? Maybe, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Rams.
Yeah, they won't need him this week. Then taking a glance at the playoff picture, we have the number 1 Seattle Seahawks in the NFC side, and the Broncos are hanging on by a thread over there. But yeah, Detroit and surprisingly Minnesota is still not out of it. So, and the Ravens, yeah, this is a big week for them as well to try to get in.
It's crazy. Like, first of all, seeing the Broncos at 1, the Patriots at 2, and then you got the Bills all the way down at 6, taking up a wild card spot. I wouldn't have expected that. And then, like, over on the NFC side, like the Seahawks, the Bears, the Niners have been, kind of relevant the last couple years, but the Panthers right there too. Your Carolina Panthers, but they're playing in the easiest division in the league. But
yeah,
it's nice to see their name up there. We're not used to it.
Yeah, and a lot of these good, the good teams in both conferences, these kind of just flip flop each week. You'll see the number 1 at 2 or 2 at 1, and so we'll get a clearer picture in the next couple weeks. Next week we'll finish up with our top 5 so we can get out of here. Our top 5 rankings. And this week, this was probably the most shakeup that we had in our extreme rankings for the NFL this season, because it was a lot of teams that we did not expect to get some big wins this past week. So first, to get us started, coming in at number 5, we had the Denver Broncos. So this is a team that we were used to seeing either 1 or 2 almost the entire season. And with that loss against the Jaguars, they dropped. This was a big drop for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were, like they were number 1. That's just what they were. And you would think like, oh, if they lose a game, they might, drop down to 2, maybe 3. But you think like, oh my gosh, how did they fall all the way to 5? But when you see the next 4 teams, and
you'll know why.
And if we're being honest, like all 5 of these teams right now, you could almost, at least 2 through 5, you could probably almost swap around.
For sure. Yep. And speaking of number 4, coming in, a team that probably was not used to being in the top 5. Yeah. The Jacksonville Jaguars making their first appearance of the season in the top 5. But with a win, last week we had Broncos number 1. With a win against them, we had to put them in the top 5.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of crazy because like statistically, you could probably still have the Broncos ahead of Jacksonville, but then at the same time, are you going to put them above a team they just lost to? And this is the argument we've been making all year. Like, well, if this team played this team, who would win? Well, they just played Jacksonville
in Denver.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like they don't line it up right now. If Jacksonville's winning that game again, I think the Broncos would probably take a best of 3 against them. But right now, as they're sitting, I like Jacksonville at 4.
Yeah, me too. Next, coming in at number 3, Buffalo Bills. They've been kind of middle of the top 5 for the past few weeks. We will see them play good against a team like the Patriots, and we may see them drop down a little bit when they kind of played down to the Browns a little bit and only won by 3. But the Bills are staying strong in the top 5, coming in at 3 this week.
Yeah, and we just talked about their upcoming matchup against the Eagles, and playing to their competition. I think they're going to get that win, and that's a good quality win for them. So they might be able to jump up in these rankings too. So
totally agree with you. And next we have coming in top 2, the Seattle Seahawks. They had a big win this past week against the Rams. Back and forth performance, but they got the win 38-37 against the Rams. And like we said, they've been playing well all season, offense, defense, and special teams. So no surprise that they are at number 2 this week.
Yeah, the NFC West is crazy because the Rams were up in the top 2 or 3 spots all year. Seattle kind of snuck into the top 5. Lost that first game against the Rams where they were kind of careless. Won the rematch, and rightfully
49ers.
so. Yeah, the Niners could very easily be in this conversation as well, but for Seattle to be on top in that division right now and the NFC, that's a good place for them at number 2.
Yep. And then to finish us off,
the Cleveland Browns.
Commanders. We have the New England Patriots getting a win, tough win against the Baltimore Ravens on the road, but they've been playing well all season. They was number 2 last week, but with that win, bumped up to number 1 this week on the Extreme Rankings list.
Yeah, they had they had their long win streak. I believe they lost to the Bills. Kind of got a little close there with the Ravens, but they are still just a step above all these other teams right now. But I will say, if they played the Bills again right now, I don't know. I think I'd probably pick Buffalo again. But I like New England right here for right now. So
yeah, totally agree with you. And I don't see any comments. We can wrap this one up. We do want to thank you all for joining us on this Christmas edition of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. We are so thankful for all of your support throughout the season. You helped us to almost reach our next goal of 200 subscribers, which is right around the corner. But once NFL is over, you can still stay tuned to us. We have a lot for you coming up. Definitely get into some NBA. We have baseball coming around, and then also sprinkle in some NFL news throughout the off season. So definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you know the next time we go live or we drop another video. Also leave us a comment and give us a like on the video as well. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thank you for watching. Peace.
Merry Christmas. See you guys.